Hi everybody, my name is Nathan Goheen and I am a composer. I wanted to talk today a little bit about something called the Harmonic Series. I was reading this book right here, hopefully you all can see it. It's Paul Hindemith's Craft of Musical Composition, Book 1, Theory. And this book completely changed how I hear and think and write music. Totally opened me up to something new. Pretty early on in the book. It's called the Harmonic Series, or the Overtone series. And basically, let me give you Wikipedia's definition. The harmonic series is the sequence of frequencies in which each frequency is an integer multiple of a fundamental. So basically what that means here is that within one note, the fundamental, let's say, you have many other notes. And in the order that these many other notes appear in is called the harmonic series. It's a constant in nature, and it occurs in many different areas besides just sound and music. Mathematicians use it a lot too. Anyway, so like basically the gist of it is that in, let's say, this one C, this note is the fundamental, right? But on top of this note are many other notes. And these many other notes and how loud they are and how their envelopes are, meaning how fast they come in and how quick they exit. This is what essentially gives an instrument its timbre or its sound, where we can be like, that's a piano playing that note, or that's a human voice singing that note, or that's a bass clarinet. Because, this note we've all got access to, but what gives it its particular sound to our ears is based on the harmonic series. What other content, what other notes are present within that note? So I just want to go over quickly the harmonic series based off of this one fundamental. All right. And so, like Wikipedia was saying, it's a series. It's a sequence of frequencies. Frequency is how often something occurs. So, let's see here. I think middle C is about 264 cycles per second, about that, which basically means that the wavelength of middle C moves 264 cycles in 1 second. It's very fast. The higher up you go, the higher the wavelength. And the lower you go, the lower the wavelength. So I don't want to get too derailed here, but basically frequency defines, we define a pitch by its frequency. So like A440 you've heard, right there, that's 440 cycles per second, okay? And if you go down the octave, that's 220 cycles per second. Down another octave, 110 cycles per second. If we go in the opposite direction, A440 is 440 cycles per second. The octave up is 880 cycles per second. And the octave above that is doubled. What would that be? Shoot, I'm getting called out here. 1760? Is that right? I'm sorry. So, getting back to the harmonic series, it's the sequence of the other notes in which are integers of this fundamental tone. So here's C. So if this is 256 cycles per second, then this one is going to be about what, like 127 maybe, somewhere around in there. So basically our fundamental here, the first, for lack of a better term, overtone that's going to appear is the octave. It's just a doubling in frequency or cycles per second of the fundamental tone. All right? The next tone that will appear is this fifth, G. All right? G is the fifth of C. So already I want to talk about something kind of cool that's happening. Let's pretend, this isn't true, but let's pretend that this is operating at 100 cycles per second. This is going to then be double that, 200 cycles per second. This is going to be the third overtone, so it's 300 cycles per second. All right? This is a very consonant sound, right? You've heard this countless times. That's no accident. It's so consonant and it's so used because this is the first two overtones and the fundamental. We'll add another one. All right? So already we're covering what, 2 octaves? But we've only got two different notes. We've got C's and we got a G. Remember, this is just for ease of conception. 100 cycles per second, 200 cycles per second, 300 cycles per second, 400 cycles per second. All right? And what's cool also in this is that because this is 100 and this is 200, we can reduce that, right? You can take 100 out of each of that. So basically, this relationship is 2 to 1. All right? So if you slowed it down to the point where we wouldn't hear it as a pitch, we could hear it as a rhythm. So it'd be like, see? Every two cycles of this one plays once. All right? It's crazy, right? So now, that was our, fundamental, first overtone, next overtone. So then using that same logic, because this one is the third, this is going to cycle through it 3 times the speed of this one. So the harmony that we get is not both from a melodic perspective, but it's from a rhythmic perspective as well. It contains the information of both qualities. So where were we? Next we're going to add a little bit of, I guess, color, you could say. Right? You all heard that. That's major. There's the next one, the 6th overtone, the 7th overtone, B flat, and then the 8th overtone is C. Now, everybody's going to have different amounts of theory and different amounts and different words for the theory. But basically, what the first 8 tones are in the harmonic series is a dominant 7th chord. It's so cool that nature is just programmed. That's just how nature is. So when you play just that one note, all these other tones are contained within it. And the loudness and the how quick they come in and how quickly that sound goes out is what gives it the timbre, or what tells our brain this is a piano playing this. I hope some of that was cool, and I hope some of it made sense to you. I'm definitely going to talk some more about this, because like I said, when I read this Titan's book, it was completely mind-opening what he had to say. So if you have any questions, comments, let me know. If you liked it, let me know what you like. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like, so hopefully I can improve. And thank you for watching. See you next time.